in Japanese martial arts, they make a distinction in some sense between, or not even just martial arts, it's actually just a distinction in Japanese practices between a do and a jitsu.
Hmm.
So jitsu just means technique, like a body of technique. So like maybe I'm a Navy SEAL, right? And I like my job is to get into places. And I'd be like, hey, I could go learn some parkour techniques to help me do my job. I just becoming and adopting some of the parkour jitsu, right?
Hmm.
The do, like judo, aikido, that do is the Japanese for Tao, right?
Hmm.
Or the way.
Way.
It's the, it's as in Taoism. Um, so there's a point at which you can treat a martial art or a tea ceremony or calligraphy as a technique, or there's a point at which you can see it as a pathway to self mastery. Within the martial arts, there's something strange which has happened, which is that the arts that are really good at the jitsu tend to neglect the do,
Mm.
and the arts that are really good at the do tend to be full of spiritual bullshit.
Yeah, very interesting.
Right? I've had this conversation with my friend Matt Thornton, who I think is a huge intellectual figure in understanding the martial arts. He says there's way more potential for character development in jiu-jitsu and Brazilian jiu-jitsu than there is in Aikido.
Mm.
But in Aikido, they will try to actively drive you towards character development, and mostly in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, you won't. And I think that there's a mistake in both places. Jiu-jitsu plays the game, which really teaches you, but it doesn't help. It doesn't give you a pathway to try to learn the right lessons from the game. It doesn't put them in a broader context of the do you should be seeking.
Mm.
Aikido puts it in a broader context, but doesn't play the game that can really teach you.
Mm.
And that's broadly true of all the do-based martial arts, in my opinion. They don't play the games that really teach. What's cool about parkour is you can't. Right now, there's no bullshit, right?
Mm. Hmm.
Like you can go into a martial arts school and be told that you can knock someone over with chi. Nobody in parkour is going to be like, I cheated myself across the man's power,
Yeah, no, it's
right? There's
honest
this
in that
fun,
way.
yeah. There's a fundamental confrontation with reality that happens in parkour. You have to tell yourself the truth.
Mm.
But there's something about the martial arts which is very attractive to bullshit. We all want to believe that we could train ourselves to be like Yip Man or Jackie Chan or, Bruce Lee and take on 50 guys and kick all their asses at once. It's like, it's just not true, right? The truth is, you could be like the best MMA fighter in the world. And if someone clocks you when you're not looking, they could kill you,
Yeah.
right? You're always vulnerable. That's what you find when you practice real violence.
Hmm.
But the bullshit is so attractive. Uh, and the cool thing about parkour is I think it strips it all away, and it just makes you have a relationship with you and the environment. I think that can give us a pathway into a kind of embodiment and a type of self knowledge that can be a more powerful scaffolding up for these other practices than anything else. I think once you put it in connection to mindfulness, it's like once you engage in metacognition, you start asking yourself, okay, I'm more courageous when I'm jumping. Am I more courageous in my relationships?
Mm.
How could I gain that? How could I pull more out of my practice? How could I gain creativity in parkour and apply it to work? How could I gain problem solving and apply it to dealing with my parents? Right. Once you're there, you're already really you've got a strong virtual engine for character development. And
Hmm.
then if you add in like intentional dialogue and community practices, like treat the way that you relate with other people as a practice, just like your parkour.
Hmm.
And then treat the way that you relate with the natural world in the same way. And then treat the way that you interact with the idea of the transcendent, interact with the idea of the past. In all those ways, that to me is the most profoundly powerful virtual engine of character development that you could create.